My name is Peter Raymer, and today I'm actually not going to do a how-to instructional video. I have a story to tell you about something that I was a part of that I'm just really proud of. Last January in 2020, we had NRF at New York City. And one of the things that I was involved in was setting up all this innovative technology at Priority Bicycles in Tribeca, about 15 minutes south of where NRF was happening. NRF is this huge trade show where anyone who has to do with retail comes. It's just massive, miles long of hardware and software and just kind of everything involved. The company that I work for was in the booth with Microsoft talking about Microsoft D365 for finance and operations. And as we met people, we would invite them to come see what we had done at Priority Bicycles. We had added a lot of really fun technology that I'd like to tell you about, and then that kind of leads to a story later. Let's get started. So this is Priority Bicycles right here, and they've got all these bikes on a rack in a showroom, and this is kind of our mock-up of a whole bunch of stations that we had added in to add fun technology to the shopping experience. One of the things we added was a power app where customers could sign up and specify their preferences of what kind of bikes they look at or like. They could take a picture of themselves so they could be registered in the system. Then once they got to Priority Bicycles, they could scan their face with a little picture to, on another power app. It would bring up their customer profile, show their preferences, and then it could even then light up these point-on-shelf vertical LED lights behind the bikes with what their preferences were. So maybe they're interested in commuter bikes or kids bikes or bikes that are yellow. All those different things, we could highlight which of those bikes on the wall met those criteria, or even more advanced criteria such as wheel size. And show those to kind of the user. So that's the wall of bikes, and I'll come back to that in a little bit. We also showcased Dynamics 365 CE, so we could engage with a customer, look at maybe prior purchases, and kind of talk through those components. We had such that when a customer signed up using the Power App, that data would get saved, and then a new record would get created in CE as well as Dynamics F&O. We also created frictionless checkout, and all of these topics I'd love to go in more detail later. At this point, I'm just giving a high-level overview to kind of get to the further story that I want to tell you about. But for frictionless checkout, we actually used RFID tags on products and an RFID scanner that we hooked up to Microsoft Dynamics 365 point of sale. Specifically the modern point of sale. We had it so a user could click a button on the point of sale. It would start the scanner, and users could just walk by with their bikes, their helmets, with the RFID tags on the products, and it would add all those items to the cart. The RFID scanner we use can scan 150 products a second. So you can imagine carrying all these products in a basket, or have a whole bunch of products. You wheel them right through and get scanned really quick. So that was another technology that we showcased. We also looked at digital product labels as well as connected store. We had a webcam that could use open computer vision to track people throughout the store. We could look at things like dwell time. If a customer was walking back to a bicycle and looking at the same bicycle multiple times, that allows us to maybe take action, prompt a store employee to approach them and see if they need help or see if they need a coupon. We also use the Hololens, Microsoft Hololens, to help teach people how to do bike assembly. And you could also, one of the other cool things I'll show you here in a second, was we had a 3D bicycle that you could cast in space and use mixed reality to see that bicycle, walk around it, see kind of what it would look like. And you can imagine in the future, as that technology grows, people can do that from their own homes and get a really 3D view of what the bicycle looks like. We also use Microsoft Teams, where people could call in and say, hey, I've got my bicycle in the box, and it's really a very simple assembly, but if they had any questions, they could call through Microsoft Teams and get a camera view of how to put the bicycle together. You can annotate on your shared screen view and get the customer some help. We also have Bike Assist in case maybe you're just doing maintenance on your bike. That can use Teams or Microsoft Dynamics Assist for the HoloLens. We also had a 3D printer there, as well as kind of a virtual ride through New York City, and a bunch of other cool things. So I just wanted to show a few pictures really quickly. So this was a picture of our Dynamics 365 point of sale system. And this is us scanning different RFID tags for a different product, a bike lock, a helmet, a bicycle, all those different things. And then here is a customer who's using the HoloLens to view a 3D bicycle on the showroom floor and walk around it. This is a picture of what they would see, but in mixed reality, not on just a monitor. Here's another picture of someone from Microsoft taking a look at that bicycle, really getting up underneath and even be able to look at the bike seat. We could then project that bicycle onto a screen so other viewers could see what they're looking at. Here's some of the 3D bicycles that we kind of printed as some fun swag for Priority Bicycles while at the event. And then here's kind of a quick mock-up of our connected store. You can see the ID number on the person in the screen. That's actually me. But I will get tracked as I'm walking around the store. We can look at where people are at in the store, their dwell time, where they're not going, and really kind of build our business, build our marketing around the store with that kind of technology. So I want to actually come back to this wall of bikes because this was just a really fun project and kind of leads me into the last part of this story. But basically we put LED lights vertically behind each one of these racks of wall of bikes, and each of the LEDs we can control their colors independently, and each strip we could control as well. In this picture, we've got all of the bike lights turned on, but we can turn on, only certain ones to show off, the yellow bikes, the bikes with a certain size, different types of bikes, commuter bikes, and go from there. So that was one of the things we added. We used a wireless Arduino to control these lights that would receive a JSON message. It would pull that message off of an Azure service bus, and we'd have the Power App send a message to the Azure service bus with which light strips, vertical strips to turn on, depending on which category the customer selected in their Power App. All right, so then this was just a really cool event. We had tons of people come visit us, lots of Microsoft people, lots of our clients and other customers to kind of see and imagine what you could potentially do in a lot of industry just using Microsoft technology, some creative people, and some innovation. So just really phenomenal project. But that leads me into kind of the last part of this story, which takes a really fun turn. So this was all back in January 2020, but if you fast forward to about November, December 2021, I actually got a call from Dave Weiner, who's the CEO of Priority Bicycles, and he had asked me if we could turn on kind of these wall of bikes again because Microsoft wanted to film a commercial. And I, of course, gladly, got them turned on and was excited, but then completely forgot all about it. Well, then fast forward a little further to January 2021, and I heard that Microsoft's commercial that they had filmed was now airing during the NFL playoffs, during the Buccaneers-Packers game, which was very, very exciting. And I'm including the YouTube link here so you can watch it. It's just a phenomenal video, but it's about how Microsoft Teams and Priority Bicycles work together, and how Priority Bicycles use Teams to be able to do remote sessions with people, remote viewing of their bicycles. They could pull their bicycles off the rack and really continue with their sales. That really helped them during the pandemic after sales had really shut down and things were a lot harder. Well, they could schedule these appointments with people, still show them the bicycles, answer any questions they have, and really go from there. It's just amazing what that technology, Microsoft's technology, and just some creativity between people can do. So it was really neat to see this phenomenal commercial, and of course really fun for me to see these wall of bikes and the lights behind them. You can see them throughout the video as well. That's just fun for me as I had installed those lights, but the Priority Bicycles did a phenomenal job with this commercial, as well as Microsoft, and just I thought it was just a phenomenal story. So I wanted to share that with you, as well as just kind of the larger background of kind of how that came about. We had started decking out Priority Bicycles with this fun technology, and we didn't realize at the time all the uses that it had. And then going forward, and as different events hit, such as the pandemic, we found other uses for Microsoft Teams and these other technologies that became even more relevant. So it's just it really is amazing to see what great technology, great software, creative people, and great ideas can kind of all do together. So thanks for listening to my story, and have a great day.